first, I think it goes without saying, but please, next time you talk to him, let Mr. Jeremy Renner know that the entire country of Canada is pulling for him for a quick
Oh, he
recovery.
knows. Yeah.
Good.
He knows.
Good to hear it. Mayor of Kingstown is, of course, based on the real town of Kingston, Ontario, where you grew up. And also around the same time as some of the other great artists that come out of that region, like Gord, Downie, and David Usher. What do you think about Kingston forged kind of these great storytellers and lyricists and poets like yourself?
Well, it's funny because as soon as you say them, I go right back to the high school we went to. So it's me, Gord Downie, Dave Usher, and we had great teachers, and it was just a great time to be at school. It was the early '80s and into the 70s into the '80s. David Usher was younger than me and Gord, but I was Gord's sound man. Light man at the first gig at the high school, and I used to sell him pot, and he is responsible for me being here. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten a record deal. He went to bat for me, and all we talked about back then was stories and characters and worlds and songs and artists. And I just saw this kid, and I knew that he's gonna do it. And he's gonna be a singer, and we both wanted to be singers. We doodle, the Doors on our notebooks and the Rolling Stones and all those things you do, but we were dreamers and uncompromising in those dreams. And when I met Taylor Sheridan years later, it was the same thing. I knew Taylor before he became Taylor Sheridan. He was my acting coach. The commonality is we knew what we wanted to do early, and we never wavered. Yeah, it's funny, you took me off course a bit, just I didn't expect to be talking about those guys or think back to high school, but that's where it came from. We had just some great teachers, and it was such a community then, and it was at a time when we were so close to the university. We would take a 6-pack and a couple of joints and be able to go watch Apocalypse Now, and we'd always rip off university jackets so we could get in. And you'd hear the beer cans rolling back the bottom of the theater to the front of the theater, and we'd watch The Deer Hunter, Apocalypse Now, you name it, every Scorsese movie, every William Friedkin movie. It was just an amazing time to be inundated with art and music.
So what was it about, the first season where those locations kind of really brought the vision home, no pun intended, and how have you been able to kind of replicate that this season?
Well, what's great about that was Taylor and I, as I said, he was my coach. So we would have, and also I never liked doing homework. So as he's coaching me on Flashpoint or Durham County, we'd be like, well, what do we really want to do? And it's like, we want to create this world. And so he was like, how many prisons are there? 9. And so Pittsburgh was always on the horizon too, because when we started scouting, there are some great turn of the century, gigantic prisons there. So it was Kingston, Pittsburgh. So we knew if we were lucky, we could start in Kingston because there's the decommissioned Kingston pen that we used. Kingston goes, that pen was built in 1845, and these are similar. So, and Pittsburgh's only, 5 hours away. So geographically, you can see there isn't a big difference. And we were just lucky to get, to have great scouts both in Canada and the US and scout these pens and present them to us. And Taylor is, he's a world-class creator at this point. He's just, he can get us where we need to go. We were so lucky to get Diane Wiest. That was my first choice. And Renner, Taylor hired me to be in Wind River. So I met Renner, and he was my first choice. So we've been very lucky every step of the way. And we were lucky to get to Kingston and be able to use that pen. And for me, it was profoundly satisfying because my folks at the time were in their 90s, and to bring that story back to Kingston and bring those jobs in the middle of the pandemic. And it's just been an incredible ride.
Okay, I wanted to give you something a little fun because I know this is going to be a long junket for you today. So I want to play Kingston or Kingstown. I'm going to provide you with a line. Could be a line of dialogue from the TV show. Could be from the great band Headstones.
Right.
I want you to take a guess. So here's number 1. Nothing left here but instinct, navigating the nonsense and all the bullshit that people say.
That is the song Kingston that I wrote with for Gord Downie, and I sent him the lyrics, which I never do because I knew, you know, where he was at in that last year, and he was just such a sweetheart of a person, and I wanted him to know I was writing that song about our growing up in that town, and I found the words, and also found the words to be able to show him. So that song was for Gord.
Spot on. Number 2, this levee got to break on its own. Can't plug every hole. Sometimes you just got to let that dam bust.
That is Taylor Sheridan, Mayor of Kingstown. This is a great show.
It is. It is. Some good writing in this. Okay, last one. For a good life, we might have to weaken and find somewhere to go somewhere we're needed.
That's Mayor of Kingston.
Good guess. Trick question. I'm afraid that's a Tragically Hip song.
I knew it was, but I didn't want to jump to that because what I like to do is play by the rules, Michael. And so you cheated me. So I will.
I apologize. You're right.
Let me put you down on the kill list, Michael.
That's right. Well, thanks you so much. Appreciate your time and good luck with the rest of season 2.
Awesome. Great questions. Thanks, man. Pleasure talking to you.
Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.